So my primary theory is that this is power tube related. Let's go ahead and check the bias of these two power tubes that are in the amp right now. I just need to go ahead and loosen the tube sockets so we can fit the bias probe in there. We know it's making a racket when it's turned on. So there's something going on, and I think these tubes are done. So let's look at the condition of the tubes first and foremost. You can see this one's got some stuff on the glass there and very clear signs of, overheating. And then this one, so that one's my primary suspect. And then this one also has signs of heat damage, but it's not as bad as the other one. The glass looks better on this one as well. So let's grab our bias probes here, install those, and see if we got one that's running away. So this is tube D, this is tube C. Turn it on, I got the volume controls off. Plate current was 81.5, let's say. So 121%. So yeah, this thing is cooking here. The other one, if it's any better, tube C, this one, that's even hotter. Yeah, so this tube is even hotter, and it doesn't have as much heat damage visually. So that just goes to show that that's not everything, right? It's a sum of all the tests that gives you the full story. So yeah, they're both running quite hot. Let's just confirm this one. There you go, 122%. So this thing is screaming. Now, very common for mattresses to be running hot. We've seen that several times before on the channel. So not out of the ordinary, but it might be beneficial to cool it down a little bit. I'll talk to the owner about that, but so far it's not misbehaving yet. Let's see. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, what just happened? Holy cow. 145, 100. What is going on here? So we're not showing any plate current for tube C all of a sudden. Tube D, we're 140. So something failed on this side, which is causing this one. That's why. Look at this. So tube D right here, this one's getting all the current now because this just went down. Oh, now it came back. All right, that's not good. Let's go ahead and turn it off. Wow, okay. Well, hey, I'm glad something showed up on camera so you guys could see. All right, let's take these tubes out. Let's inspect what's going on inside. Visually, it is classic Matchless. Point to point, very, very kind of crazy looking at first glance. Lots of leads wrapped around. Zoom in a little bit. Imagine you need to swap one of these filter caps or even just this cathode bypass cap, how the lead just completely wrapped around. Massive pain to work on these, as I've shown in a previous video. But they were built to last. They were built, beyond what is really needed with everything wrapped multiple times, which is great until you have to fix it down the road. It is a little perplexing to me because these were, the whole shtick with Matchless was let's make an AC30 in this case that is torque ready and reliable. And yet these things are biased so hot they just burn through tubes. So all three Matchlesses that I've had on the channel that have come in to be worked on all had tubes that were completely roasted and biased well over what they should be. This one is no exception, 120% bias. So what are our options here? You can see these two resistors, these two black resistors here and here. Those are your bias resistors. There's one for each output tube, so it's separated. And yeah, so these are 300 watts, so you'd have to bump those up to probably 350 or so to cool it down a little bit. Not a super common value for a cathode bias resistor, so we'd have to order that. Otherwise, visually, first glance, I'm not seeing anything that jumps out as being wrong. So flipping it over, it was this tube socket, I believe, that seemed to lose plate current all of a sudden, and then this one spiked, and then they both kind of evened out. So that was very interesting. Very well could just be the tubes. In fact, most likely just the tubes. But visually, let's just look at it, see if anything stands out to us. Well, I am looking through this, trying to see if anything jumps out to me, and there's one major thing I just noticed. Let me grab the camera to show you guys because you can't see from the top-down view. Switching to handy cam, this is going to be a bit difficult to show you guys. I got to thread the needle here. I'm going to bring the ISO up so we got more brightness. You can see in the shadows. And let's zoom in. Right there in the center of your screen, what do you see? No solder on that terminal. Look at that. This is not a new amp. This amp is, I'm not sure what year it is, but it's definitely not a new amp. That appears factory. You can see all of the leads wrapped around like Matchless does. It's got the, the factory clear tubing on the connections. All the other ones are soldered. But that one. So that is the grid connection actually. So even in a beautifully built amp like this, all this crazy wiring, it's built by humans. And sometimes us humans, we mess up. So anyways, onward. So I started the amp up with the new replacement power tubes, brand new JJ Apex matched pair. And I ran it through the current limiter first just to make sure there wasn't any short or anything going on in the amp itself. It wasn't just the tubes. Passed that test, no problem. So I've got the tubes installed now, and also just for good measure, a bunch of the bulbs in the logo light setup were out. So I replaced all of those. So I've got those on camera so you can see that as well. So we'll go ahead and turn the amplifier on. See those all glow. Perfect. Now we'll go ahead and give it a sec, let it warm up, and check the bias. All right, looks like it's normalized here. Plate voltage around 371. Plate current for one tube is, let's call it 73.6 or so. The other one, 73.8 or so. So basically the same. So if I were to go the hotter of the two, that gives us 110%, which is pretty much perfect with these amps. They tend to run real hot, and that's cooler than most. So that's good, and quite a bit cooler than the other tubes. So this is looking very good, and the amp has had no problems. I've been letting it run for about 40 minutes so far, and it's been very stable in the bias. So I think we're good to go. Quick and easy. Very nice. So now all I got to do is just add solder to where it's been missing for a decade plus, and this thing should be good to go. And there's the terminal with the solder added. I'll hit it from the other angle to show you guys here. Try to do it just like Matchless does, not too much solder. You can still see the leads, but it is soldered all the way top to bottom. And there you go. That just about does it. Zoom out here. And there's the Matchless Chieftain. Thank you so much for watching. Very much appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments. And until next time, see ya.